Hello and welcome back to my channel. It brings me great pleasure to bring God's word to the people. Today's word comes from 1 Kings chapter 1 verses 32 to 37, and it is called the struggle for succession. I have, however, renamed it, and affectionately so, knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. Some of us may have heard the phrase, knowledge is power, repeated to us throughout our life. The phrase or saying could mean the more you know, the better off you are, or perhaps the more prepared you are to avoid, challenge, and or subdue your adversaries. Knowledge or knowing more about a situation or circumstance may help us or hurt us. For example, if you like to watch movies about the FBI, CIA, KGB, or any other intelligence agency or operation, then you know that the person that knows too much that's in the movie is usually the person being chased throughout the movie. That person has power because that person knows too much. As we read the text in 1 Kings chapter 1, verses 32 to 37, we learn that King David is making provisions for his son Solomon to take over his throne. King David is able to do this because he is the king. However, if he had not learned from his wife Bathsheba that Adonijah, one of King David's sons, was planning to take over his throne, he may have waited too late to announce that Solomon would be king after his death. Because he knew of Adonijah's plans, King David was able to move forward and make his son Solomon king after his death. So what does all of this mean for us? Well, I'm so very glad you asked. It could mean that when we hear God's word, we gain knowledge and power to support the well-being of others and maybe even ourselves, or maybe even an organization or entity. It could also mean that when we seek knowledge, we can find it in God's word, which has the power to build up or tear down according to God's will, as it is written and as it is spoken. I'll repeat that last part. It could also mean that when we seek knowledge, we can find it in God's word, which has the power to build up or tear down according to God's will, as it is written or spoken. Well, until we meet again, have a very blessed Christmas, a happy Hanukkah, Merry Kwanzaa, whatever applies. And most of all, stay safe and be blessed. Bye-bye.